Leslie, and this is Alcmy Intuitive Arts. Today I am going to give one of my channeled messages. I'm going to cleanse my energy. And I'm going to cleanse you. And this is a channeled message. So I want to get into some energy that I have been picking up. And I'm picking up on a woman who is a nurse or in the medical field of some sort. And this woman keeps themselves in high regard. They really believe that what they do is for the highest good. But what I'm sensing is somebody that is using their position, their knowledge, their license, this could even be a doctor, and put the gender how you choose. Could be male, could be female. Initially a woman came in, but now with the doctor, I'm feeling a man. So this could be a number of energies that are coming through. I see this individual as financially secure. They are very secure, and they're secure not only because of their work in the medical field, and this could be in psychiatry, it could be social work, it could be, an MD, it could be a chiropractor, it could be an RN, it could be any type of job like that, or it could even be somebody in a legal capacity. So this person, they make good money, they're financially stable, they potentially have a family, they have done well for themselves, and they're very comfortable in their situation. The issue is that they've used their title, their position, their access in order to harm other people. They may have changed people's medical records. They may have testified in a court of law in a way that is dishonest. They may have taken money to do this, to help someone. They may have used their position to, like I say, gain access to people's medical records, dibble-dabbled in their medical records for a self-serving purpose. Didn't serve the person whose medical records they were getting involved in. Or they may use their medical prowess, access to harm people physically. They may have used their medical access to unalive people, and they may have done this as a compulsion that they have, or a way to enrich themselves, or perhaps they did it for somebody else. Remember, these could be multiple energies coming in, but I am seeing and feeling a person, one in particular, that has like some compulsion to, when somebody is going to die, they want to come near to them, and they want to make their transition happen. And they may want to make their transition happen because they can become enriched financially, or they, in their mind, it's the right thing to do, or again, they may do this for somebody else. Anyway it happens, it's very much not thinking about other people, not thinking about the family, not thinking about that person. And when somebody passes, there is a natural and divine process that occurs for them. And there is also a natural and divine process that occurs for their family. You know, the family needs to reconcile this person's passing. And the family needs to all be included in what this person has left in terms of wills or estates, etc. What I'm sensing is a person that is willing to go in and change things in order to enrich themselves. They are willing to use their position of access to perhaps medications or things like that in order to make that ill person's transition occur prematurely. In many cases, or in some cases, there are people who have been left out of the process. And needless to say, this is not a divine situation, especially when you are purposely excluding people that have been in this person's life from birth, their children. If you are excluding somebody's children from their process, from the outcome of that life they had with their family, then you are going against God's law, divine law. This is not natural. This is not okay. And if you have enriched yourself, or if you are that person who enriched themselves, or if you know of a person who has done this to you, then this can be very painful. Now, many times people have illnesses that we know that they are terminal, and they're going to die, and they're in pain. And there is a question, you know, Is it my job to help them pass over? Or is it my job to let the divine determine when they pass over? The person that I am looking at has done this, has helped people pass, or not helped, has caused them to pass prematurely, and has excluded their family members, and has enriched themselves. And this may also happen with court cases. Perhaps they testify. Perhaps they made a deposition or wrote something about a family member to purposely exclude them. Perhaps they gathered assets that were originally intended for somebody else, directed them in some way, manner, in some method, through court proceedings, through lawyers or whatever, for that money to go to them and not to that family member. And in some cases, there may be people who are doctors or legal officials like DAs or whatever that may create proceedings or testify in proceedings that exclude people from their assets and put them in conservatorships when they are not disabled. We see this happening more and more and more. And so these are very important things to be aware of in the situation where family members are passing away. I do see somebody, I actually see a couple of people, could be 3 or 4 or 5 people, and these people have done this. They have done this to enrich themselves. They have ruined people's lives. And let's talk about the karma that goes along with this. When you deprive a family, a person, of their birthright, of their assets that were divinely given through the hands of another person, not through you, you are violating divine law, you're violating natural law, and you're going to receive judgment. You're going to receive karma. And that can come in the form of criminal proceedings. It can come in the form of scarcity. It can come in the form of illness. It can come in many different forms. So it is very imperative that we allow natural, divine order to take place in family situations, and that we do not intervene to exclude people from what somebody else has deemed to be theirs. You may not realize how many people this decision impacts. You may think, oh, this only impacts that one person. No, it doesn't only impact that one person. It impacts the people in their family. It impacts many other people. And it may even come to you, come back on you. Think about that when you're in a situation that is coming down to the wire with somebody who's ill, and you're thinking, oh, I could get my hands on that. Oh, I can enrich myself with that. Maybe if I just pay this court official, I can get some money. I can buy that nice house. We can go on that trip to Disneyland. We can be a happy family. We can go shopping, whatever it is. You have deprived another family, another person of their birthright. They can be harmed not just for a short period of time, but for the entirety of their lives. If that person has children, their children will be harmed because they will be deprived of potentially things that they wouldn't have been deprived of had they had that money. And also they may be deprived of a winning attitude. They may be deprived of many other things. And then when you add in other socioeconomic factors to that situation, you're really stacking up the karma for depriving a family of their birthright. So think about it. And if you know somebody who's done this to you or to somebody else, this is your permission that you are valid, you are important. And regardless of what a family member or a court proceeding or something else that has happened, you know, somebody who's held a grudge against you for your whole entire life. And with that said, peace, love.